Hello and welcome to the Fatu Show. It's always nice to be back, and my flu is getting better. Thank you all very much. I appreciate the messages that you were sending to me on my Facebook inbox as to how I should treat my cold. Finally, it has worked and it's getting better, and you know, I just cannot disappoint my fans, and I decided to come over today and have this show again live for you. It's coming to you live from the Gambia Radio and Television Services, and for those of you who are a fan of Piers Morgan, finally the President of the United States of America has decided that the petition that was sent to the White House to have him deported is dismissed, and Piers Morgan would now stay in America. And if you've been following it, it's been really interesting with radio host Alex Jones' interview. I've seen that, and I've been following developments when some Americans wrote a petition to White House to have him deported because they feel that he spoke against gun laws in the wake of the Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre, and finally he's staying. And I was on his Twitter page this morning, and he said, "Thank you very much, Mr. President, for keeping me in America." Well, that's a good development. For those of you who love the Piers Morgan Show, I'm a big fan of it. And like I said on the Facebook page, today we're talking to an economist, and he's no other than Mamadou Sabally, the budget director of the Ministry of Finance. But he is talking to us today here in his capacity as an economist. Mamadou Sabally, the economist. First, can you tell us who Mamadou Sabally is?
Mamadou Sabally is a Badibunka boy born in Banjul, raised in Lamin village.
Yeah, Badibunka boy.
Went through St. Peter's Technical High School, then Gambia High. Graduated St. Mary's University Extension Program in the Gambia in 1999, and pursued a career as a professional economist through the Central Bank, and finally and for now at the Ministry of Finance.
Okay. Yeah. So now, how fulfilling is it understanding the way that the economy works? Because most of the time when, you know, people feel that there's no money or stuff, they will say, the economy.
It is a very interesting job, and I can't tell you how fulfilling it is exactly, because when the economy is stable and everything is okay, you even forget about the impact of what you are doing. But the only time when you appreciate what you really do is when the economy begins to be shaky and you have to work hard to stabilize it. Case in point was when we had some economic disturbances around the early 2000s, close to 2003, and interest rates went through the roof here, where the treasury bill rate was hitting around 34%. And then under the distinguished leadership of the late governor of the central bank, Famara Jata, of blessed memory, we worked together, initiated the Monetary Policy Committee of the central bank, and brought down interest rates, stabilizing the economy and restoring the growth trajectory that we had before. It's during such moments that you actually appreciate the work that you do.
Okay, and now what role does Gambia play in the development of the economy of the region in Africa, and how substantial is this?
Well, you'll see that we are a small economy,
yeah,
but very open. I think Gambia is one of the most open economies in the entire region of Africa. We have a fully liberalized capital account. You can bring money in and out of this country, and it's completely free. It doesn't happen that way in other countries. We have an open door policy. We encourage foreign direct investment. By seeing the number of banks that came into this country recently from the sub-region, that's just a sign of how we are interacting with the sub-region. But our trade actually does happen mostly with Western Europe.
And then let me ask you this: why is it so difficult for the lay people to grasp the details of an economic report? You know, because there is this saying that it is done to keep the average person out of the loop. How true is that?
I think it's true to some extent. I think we economists at some level, we get a little bit, our ego gets the better of us. Because if you are communicating an economic report to the public, you should be able to break it down to the level where the people understand. But mind you, it's not only the public. We've had a situation in economics now where if you have to be a professional economist in the world now, you might as well become a professional scientist because mathematical modeling has completely transformed economics, especially when trained engineers started going to Wall Street, coming up with all sorts of models that are supposed to approximate what's happening in the real world. But the real world, in actual fact, does operate in a different way. That's why recently when a Nobel Prize economist made this statement, I was very happy. The guy said, we the economists should stand away from the blackboard and see what's happening in the real world. Because most of the policy wonks in economics are professors in universities.
Okay. Let me ask you this, because I think we started by not saying that, because I'm sure there is some people watching this program who would want to be an economist. What does it take to be one?
Well, it takes a lot of hard work and determination, especially in the current situation where economists is getting as close to the physical sciences as possible.
Yeah.
There was a time when you can do economics without touching mathematics. Now it's almost certain that you will have to do a lot of calculus before you can get any respectable degree in economics. So that means a lot of hard work. But then what's even more important is pitching a career in the real world as a professional economist. Studying at school is one thing, but appreciating the real work of economics in the daily activities of human beings would require you to be in a position where you work and analyze real data that's coming from the markets and interpret those results. I like to say here in the Gambia, call me biased if you like, if you really want to be a sound professional economist, try have some working experience at the central bank.
It's very important.
It's very useful. They do a lot of economic analysis. Of course, the Ministry of Finance is also a place where you can learn the trade, but I learned most of what I know in economics during my 10-year career as a research economist at the central bank.
I always say that to a lot of young people when they come back from their studies from America or England. I always tell them it's important if they can start, especially people who are into finance, if they can start at the Ministry of Finance, like you just said. Well, Sabali, we will take a quick break now. But before the break, I would like to say that you can send us a text message on 655-2002 is 655-2002. If you have a question for Sabali, the economist, and I have some comments on Facebook, you have some questions that you sent to us. You can keep sending them because right now we're online and I would ask him the questions. But right now, Mahmoud, if we can take a break and we would return soon.
For the first time in the Gambia, Comium brings you free credit without spending a budget.
Wow. Call us Comium.
What's up, girl? Did you hear the greatest offer from Comium? Comium? They always come in great ways. Tell me about it. You can receive free credit without spending a batut. Oh, come on now. For real. Every minute of international call you receive, Comium will give you $3.
Call us Comium.
Also, every minute of crossnet call you receive, you will get $1.
All I have to do is ask all my friends at home and abroad to call me on my Comium line.
You know you can use the same credit to call, text, and browse the internet. Wow. Call us Comium. Okay, call us Comium.
Call us Comium. Why? Comium. We are better together.
Well, if you just joined us, you're watching The Fatu Show, and it's coming to you live from the Gambia Radio and Television Services. I have Momodu Sabali, the economist. He's here to talk to us about economist and economy and the economy, the state of the economy, the Gambian economy. And he's here right now to discuss this with us. You're calling us. We cannot take phone calls, but you can send us a message on the number that I said before the break is 655-2002, 655-2002. But you can also, if you're on Facebook right now, you can send us the questions through Facebook, The Fatu Show. We are on Facebook, and it's spelled F-A-T-U space S-H-O-W. And yes, Sabali, now, what issues does a developing country like the Gambia face in sustaining economic growth? And are there any indications of sustained growth, currently?
Absolutely. I think we've been doing pretty well in managing the Gambian economy. During the past 3 years, barring 2011 when we had a crop failure, we have economic growth averaging close to 6% per annum. We have inflation under control at about 4%. Money supply is contained at the level of nominal GDP growth. And we've seen the booming of such sectors like the services, especially in the area of telecommunications. And these are all made possible because of sound macroeconomic policy that we are implementing that has been given the stamp of approval by the